11 different ways to make a margarita. Can you see me? I don't know. I don't know. Because sometimes you spend money on things and they just decide to not work. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun when things just break and then you end up screaming at no one? There's no one here. I sound insane. Why did I look for that way to that way? No one is here. Welcome back to my channel. We're shooting blind today, guys. Because I don't know if you can see me. This video might be blurry. And if it's not and it's in focus, just pretend like it was on purpose and everything that just happened didn't. What is the best way to make a margarita? So many of you have sent me this video recently from Epicurious. It's 11 different bartenders showing their ways, their methods of making a margarita. Some of them are classic bartenders, some of them are Flair bartenders, and then you got speed bartenders, which is what I primarily was. Some of you may think that that is the worst kind of bartender. Sometimes, more often than not, you might be right. Speed bartenders are basically trying to pump out as many cocktails as possible because, hold for it, we have the largest demand. We're like the sweatshops of bartenders. Only I'm not a hungry child. You're supposed to get out as many cocktails as possible, but what a lot of speed bartenders forget is you're also supposed to try and not make it decrease in quality as much as possible. An example of a speed bartender making a terrible margarita is literally just making a 2-ingredient margarita. Yes, that's as disgusting as it sounds. They literally will use tequila blanco, which is silver tequila, and sour mix. That's it. That's disgusting. That's Hangover City. It is the lowest form of margarita. But honestly, when you're 6 drinks in and someone's thumb's been up your ass for the past hour, you don't know the difference. I'm sure that most of these are gonna be great. I'm sure that I'm not really gonna have much to critique, or at least I'm hoping. So instead of critiquing, that sounds too fancy. Instead of bitching and whining like I normally do, there you go. I'm going to rate and then rank each margarita on this list. I'm gonna give each one a score, and then we're gonna see which one, in my opinion, is the best to worst. Now, is my opinion fact? No. Do I have a lot of experience? Yes. And it's so funny, my therapist keeps calling it trauma instead of experience. And don't just think the fancy one's gonna be my favorite. Because that's not what I do here. Fancy isn't always better, and I'm gonna explain why, if, and when we get to it. Now, before we get into it, let me remind you all to click that like button. It helps me more than you know. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so sorry. This is quite the video to meet me on. Things usually work here. I promise. Everyone shut up. Everyone else shut up. I promise. My name is Mike. I'm a globally disgraced bartender and reality TV personality that refuses to go away. I know some of you want me to. It's not gonna happen. Are we good? Great, then let's get into reacting to these margaritas, baby. Anxiety.
The elements of a classic margarita are a good tequila, an orange liqueur, which is Cointreau, freshly squeezed lime juice, and some sort of sweetener, my agave syrup. And really, these are the only 4 ingredients that you need for
the basics. And that's true. I didn't see sweet and sour mix once.
Then I'm gonna put some fresh ice in here. I'm gonna give it a really, really good shake. A margarita should be shaken about 15 times to make it really extremely cold. So then
listen, let me tell you something. We're getting into mixology territory here, okay? Shake the damn thing. 15 times, I don't know. I've never counted how many shakes. I bet you there is a science. Listen, I'm not saying it's wrong because someone's gonna be in the comments like, listen, I've never gave anyone a margarita and they sipped it and go, this was only shaken 12 times.
Then I'm gonna take a rocks glass. I like to do a half salt rim. That gives people the choice whether they want the salt or not. The orange allows the salt to go on very easily.
Very true. I don't like salt on my margaritas, but that's a personal preference.
A large ice cube keeps it extra cold. We finish it off with a little bit of a lime wheel here to give it some color.
That's a perfect margarita. That is a perfect way. That's a perfect start. That's a perfect base. That's a perfect start. But there are a few things that I personally would do to make it my own that I think it would be better. Now again, does that mean it's better? No. Would I like it more? Yes. So I'm gonna give this one a solid middle rating. I'm gonna rate it a 6.
Unlike the martini, unlike the old fashioned, I am less draconian in how you do a margarita.
See, this is how you know. I don't care where he's bartending. He's talking like a mixologist. What the hell is draconian? Was it Star Wars? What does that mean?
Each bar has their own personality with it. So the margarita I'm making is known as a Tommy's Margarita. It was invented in San Francisco in the 90s at a bar called Tommy's Mexican. So when it comes to a margarita, I'm sure you're going to get a lot of folks on here that does it the classic way. You're going to have your tequila, you're going to have your lime juice. No difference here on that one. A lot of people are going to use orange liqueur. I am going to use agave syrup. The agave loves the lime. So we're going to put a full ounce.
So you're making a basic margarita just without the orange liqueur. Okay. You can, but it should have an orange liqueur with the agave. So a Tommy's Margarita is just taking one out?
When it comes to your regular margaritas, you can pretty much use any kind of tequila you want. You can use a silver blanco. I find that with these ingredients, it works best with the reposado. Tommy's Mexican themselves use a reposado.
100%. I love a reposado tequila in my margarita. Okay, you just went back up. That also might be adding some of the flavor you're losing by not adding the orange liqueur.
Now, the question of the rim of a margarita. Some people want absolutely no salt. Some people want salt. Some people want spicy salt. All those things. I'm not going to use salt if I have no information on it because I don't want to do that. But if I use salt, I have a hard, fast rule. I am going to do a half rim of salt around it. Now, we're shaking this margarita. Small glass into large glass. I filled the small with my spirits. I filled the large with my ice. Why don't...
See, look at this. This is a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking for a margarita. A lot of things that no one really cares about. Shake the damn thing. Just shake it.
Citrus loves agitation, and the way that it combines, it changes the complexion of the cocktail. Citrus works well with aggressive...
I didn't study for the quiz. You're a craft bartender. Jesus Christ. I'm learning the science of ice and shaking and just shake it.
Citrus works well with aggressive and violent ice. When it comes to no citrus...
Violent ice? It's ice, bro. Shake it.
I always suggest to people to use the chicken wing of fear. That ice is going to hit every part of that inner cylinder. I would say 8 to 10 seconds is the good amount. Opening's always hard for people. Sometimes use brute force, but...
This is a lot of steps for literally just taking a step out. He's making a margarita without agave.
We're gonna fill our glass with ice. Then we get to the part that I kind of have a little bit...
I don't like all those rocks. I like one big ice cube. That's what I prefer. All that shaking you were talking about, and then you add in more ice to dilute it? Boy!
Margaritas almost universally come with a lime on there. It looks better, I understand that. It adds color to it. The thing about it is people tend to take this off so much and squeeze this in there. It's already got the perfect amount of lime juice.
Yes, people are dumb. People are dumb. Why are you still talking? It's a lot of, there's a lot of useless information.
You're putting too much citrus in it, but I can't fight tradition.
It's a 5. It's a 5 because it's fine. There's nothing really wrong with it. There's a lot of explanation that doesn't matter. But am I shocked that a craft bartender had a lot to say about nothing? No. Then again, I'm a speed bartender. I would have had 9 of those out in 30 seconds.
I work at Paradise Lost, which is going to be a tiki bar. We try to use the same templates of classics, but using unexpected ingredients. These are...
Those eyebrows.
I'm going to be using some lime cordial, galangal agave, and hibiscus grenadine. These will all sweeten the margarita. That's way too much. She's going in.
She just said a bunch of things. I didn't understand a single one.
These are going to be the Bitterman's Hellfire bitters. They just give a really beautiful habanero spice to the cocktail without totally overwhelming it. You're going to start off with smaller, more intense ingredients that cost a little bit less. So if you mess up, you can just toss it out. And
Hellfire bitters. Is it okay? So it's spicy. Bitters in a margarita to make it spicy instead of jalapeno. Okay. Listen, this is different. This is different, but I'm here for different.
Split basing is a technique used in tiki cocktails that elongates the base that you're going to be using for your drink. Instead of just using tequila, we're going to switch it up. The bases today that we're splitting up are going to be a Far Frais de Bois, a strawberry liqueur. This is substituted.
So it's a spicy strawberry margarita because it's a tea. That actually sounds divine.
A little bit of spicy jalapeno tequila and some acroot leaf infused mezcal.
Damn, this shit is spicy. That's a lot of spice. And listen, spicy margaritas are like my favorite, but we have there's a lot of spicy in there. But it might be balanced out with the sweet. So I don't know.
We're gonna be using this Hamilton Beach blender in order to flash blend our cocktail.
Oh, no. No. Nope. Nope.
It just aerates, dilutes, and chills your tiki cocktail, especially when you're using crushed ice. We're gonna add a little bit of soda into the bottom of our glass so it fully incorporates.
This is not for me. It's not for me. This is not to say that it's bad at all. It's just not for me. Because to me, this has veered off so far away from a margarita that if I got it, I would be confused on what I ordered. I just feel like we're not making a margarita anymore. Do you know what I mean?
This cocktail, since we flash blended it, has way more head, that really nice frothy top that's just kind of laughing and smiling at you while you're drinking it. A common misconception with tiki drinks is that because they have so much ice in them, you're actually watering down your drink. More ice built on top actually makes it water down less. If I didn't put...
Is that true? How is that a common misconception? Small ice breaks down faster, melts down, dilutes the cocktail. That's why we use a giant rock, so that it melts slower, diluting it less. I'm confused. I don't want to fight it because I could be wrong.
Now's time for the fun garnishes. We're gonna add a little bit of fresh mint. What I'm doing here is what we call spanking the mint. It just wakes up a lot of those oils that are inside of the leaves, giving it more aromatics when you first pull that drink up.
It's turning into a mojito! Oh, it's turning it into a mojito! How are we making my favorite cocktail and turning it into my least? This isn't a bad cocktail. This looks beautiful. This looks beautiful. But am I wrong to say that if I order a margarita and that is what I get, I'd be confused? Is that fair? Is that fair?
We wouldn't really be a tiki bar without a fun little serve, so we got a custom Paradise Lost Swizzle in here, as well as a little skeleton toy. This is our variation.
Guys, I love tiki cocktails. I'm not saying a bad thing about tiki cocktails. I love a good tiki cocktail when it calls for a tiki cocktail, but come on, margarita for whomst? The only things about this cocktail to call it a margarita is that there's tequila and lime in it.
So I work at The Bush. It is a lesbian bar, cocktail bar during the week. Night.
Already telling you, bitch, I love her. Look at her. I know this is gonna be damn good.
Club on Friday and Saturday night. So after 11 p.m., we switch.
Stop it. Don't plastic cut me, girls! No! And I know what she's gonna say. After a certain time, you switch to plastic cups because if a glass breaks, it's a health and safety hazard.
People are drunk, they're breaking things. We don't want them breaking our glassware. So, nonetheless, I still rim the glass with tahini. We're gonna start with lime juice, some Cointreau, because it's better than triple sec.
At least she's not using triple sec. And look, no sweet and sour mix in sight.
The girls at The Bush like their drinks a little bit sweet, so I do a couple dashes of simple syrup in the mug.
Hold on, a lesbian bar called The Bush? I need to go there right now. Am I allowed? Lesbians, am I allowed?
Espolón, it's a good mid-level tequila. It's pretty non-controversial.
She's absolutely right. Espolón is a good mid-level tequila at well tequila price. It's a safe bet. It's not great, but it's safe.
You want to shake the hell out of it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. No 15 times, shake the hell out of it.
Just dirty drop, it's quicker, and it's still delicious. You want a little extra?
The dirty drop, it is quicker. Okay, what am I gonna lie and say that I never did that? She's a speed bartender like me. We are sacrificing a little too much of the quality.
You want a little extra lime? Boom. I keep saying boom, I don't know why, I think I'm on a cooking show. It's a perfect margarita.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 4. If it was just put in a glass, it would have been much higher on this list, but I would drink this no problem. See what I mean? Fancy and better isn't always better. Like that tiki cocktail was gorgeous, but this is what I ordered.
Margarita to me is the party cocktail, and Flair is sort of the party aspect of bartending. Flair is just manipulating your tools in a really...
If he just makes a goddamn margarita while flipping things, I'm gonna be pissed. It's gonna be all the same ingredients, he's gonna be flipping things. I hope you tip him, because that's what it's for.
I'm gonna make a margarita, so first I need to grab a tin to pour stuff into.
You see how long that took? He just wasted 2 seconds. The show wastes time. What do you want? Do you want a show or do you want to get your drink quicker? Different places call for different things, okay? Different strokes, different folks.
Start by putting just a 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. Again, the idea behind a margarita is that it's supposed to be a beautiful balance of sweet and sour. We're gonna do fresh squeezed lime juice. So many bars and restaurants cut corners and they buy pre-juiced juice. When you use a Blanco tequila, you get sort of notes of minerality to it, like a slate. Combier, I think it is one of the better triple secs out there. To me, you don't need salt in a margarita. I find that salt was used.
Hold on. Why is this guy lecturing me about salt? I don't like salt on my margarita either, but how is this a different kind of margarita? It's just making a margarita while flipping things. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I find that salt was used back in the day for the fact that salt kind of dulls your senses and your taste buds. By using salt, it's kind of allowing you to use lesser products. I have no judgment on it, I just don't think it's necessary.
What? Not thinking it's necessary is a judgment, my guy. And your judgment's fine. I don't like salt either, but this is a lot of information for why you just don't like salt. Just say you don't like things salty, boy. Just say you don't drink cum, and let's move on. Flip another bottle.
When you shake a cocktail, you wake it up. And a margarita is certainly a cocktail that you want to wake up. So.
He's just flipping the tins. He's just flipping the tins. You want to be a Flair bartender? I want to see you flip one of the glass bottles. I want risk. Is that all it takes to be a Flair bartender? You gotta just flip the tin behind your back? Is that it? Is that it? In the comments down below, let me know. Do you tip more for this? Do you? Do you? Don't lie to me, okay? Don't you lie to me. What matters more, getting the same cocktail faster or having to wait an extra 30 seconds because I got this guy flipping tins behind his back?
They just do what is actually known as a dirty dump, which is where you simply take the cocktail and just dump those ingredients that you just shook into the glass. So I'm gonna add fresh ice so that way the drink doesn't over dilute, and we're gonna strain it out with our Hawthorne strainer.
Okay, that was impressive. That was impressive. And he is right about the ice. You only dirty dump if like you're in one of those speed bartending situations where it's like a massive crowd and you have to sacrifice that for speed. Or honestly, you might not have enough ice. But if you do, he's absolutely right. Always use fresh ice. Don't dirty dump if you have the opportunity not to.
So we'll strain this out and make a beautiful margarita. So some people just put it on the glass, but I'd prefer to throw it in.
Great, so the thing that you were just touching with your hands is in my glass. Love that.
I got an applause. Boom!
Cause he flips? What the heck? It's still a basic margarita. Can I be honest? Can I be for realsies? I'm gonna rate this a 4. I would be just as happy with that dirty dumped margarita than this. I'd be just as happy. I got the tahini and I got it faster. Yes, this is glass, but it ended up balancing it out because there's not much different. This isn't the actual margarita itself. The show is different, but the margarita itself is not.
I work at a neighborhood bar, and margaritas are a common order. People expect their margaritas to be in a glass this large, and it's just not really the traditional margarita. So
that means it's gonna be nasty. That means it's gonna be nasty because you're gonna be filling up that extra space with extra ingredients that are actually worse.
Starting with ice in the glass, I add the tequila. Espolón's a fantastic tequila. Doesn't have any artificial.
Straight into the glass, no shaker. Okay.
Triple sec would be next, or Cointreau, whatever you have. Any orange liqueur would be fine. So
She's or Cointreau. Triple sec is worse than Cointreau. It is an orange liqueur, but it's not as good. It's the cheaper version, basically.
most neighborhood bars would use a sour mix off the gun, but I do my own because I find.
What did I say?
So I do lemon lime. And that being said, I even add a little simple syrup into mine just to cut the acid just a little bit.
See, that's not balanced at all. That's not balanced at all.
Rim of the glass with the lime. A lot of people will just use salt, but I like to use tahini. And then in the glass, you're gonna wanna put some fresh ice. And then just give it a really good shake.
Oh my God, it's a lie! It's a lie!
No strainer because I do everything wrong. And there's just a margarita.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3 because I was lied to. The shake was bad, what you shook in it was bad, and all the ingredients were bad. But it's served to make it seem like it might be good. You can't tell that that was made terribly. It's a trick. The only thing that would have made this worse is if she actually served it in the tall glass. See, those are the places you just don't get a margarita. Those places where you just get a vodka soda or rum and coke.
Donahue is a family-run steakhouse on the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
I know this bitch knows how to make a margarita. I can tell just by looking at her this is gonna be fire.
You ever shake your glass? Gonna fill it with some ice? Cointreau is a classic addition to margaritas. It's an orange liqueur. Very smooth. A lot of people, if they want to cut cost, will use triple sec. If I don't use this, I'd use.
What did I say? Triple sec is the cheap Cointreau.
It's smooth. Some of the lime juice you use is bitter. So.
Oh, it's not fresh though. Points off for not being fresh. She's doing what I do here on this channel. Nasty.
Tresemana, it's a very smooth Blanco tequila. I free pour all my drinks at Donahue's. All of my bartenders free pour all their drinks at Donahue's. There's no measurements. My father.
Period. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've always said. Don't waste time measuring shit.
And then you just pour it in, and there's your margarita.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate the glass, I hate the salt, coarse salt. Coarse salt, like that brand of coarse salt from like the little plastic cup, just screams cheap. It just screams cheap. I don't like how it was made, I don't like how it's served. Oh no. I'm so excited. So excited. I'm gonna give it a 3. Guys, I haven't been like stunned once. The first one is still the best. The first basic way you make a margarita is still the... Somebody please!
I like to squeeze the lime into my margarita at the end of making the margarita because the flavor of the lime will be sitting right on top of your cup.
So we have extra lime that we don't need and something that I touch with my fingers now in your cocktail. Why? For whom?
As a home bartender, I know that it can get far more complicated than this, but I like a classic, simple lime margarita. And if you can just get some fresh limes.
Watch this be better. I can tell that this is already gonna be better.
And then I've got just a little bit of simple syrup, which is really easy to make. It's equal parts sugar and water. I'm going to be using the Espolòn Blanco tequila. I personally really like the Blanco tequilas for margaritas. This is a pretty good price for one. And let's face it, I'm a home bartender, so I like it a little bit strong. And then...
Do you see that little thing? He's calling that strong. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean about measuring? Because he's measuring it wrong. And simple syrup and Blanco. Guys, I'm getting so sad.
Oh, just a hint of this triple sec. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a mix, and then I'm honestly gonna taste it just to see.
The spoon! That's not the spoon! Get out of it! What are you spouting? What are you spooning? You're stirring and you're shaking.
So let's give it a taste. You know what? That's pretty.
1. Shut up. That's a 1. That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I've seen frat boys make better margaritas. Oh, I'm pissed. Oh, I'm fighting.
A lot of people will salt the outside of their glass. I personally have never been very good at salting the outside of the glass, so I just put it in. Throw in that lime.
Ah! Oh! Next.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to salt my glass.
Bitch with them titties. Bitch. I know you got this. Come on, speed bartender. Let's show him how it's done. See, they got cleavage up here. I had cleavage down here. I'd always bend over when I'm picking up an ingredient because we making tips. See, that our Flair bartending is our cleavage.
I like a half rim, just kind of gives people the option for salt. I work at a high volume bar and I make so many margaritas. I have to make them super fast too. Today I am making a Mezcal Tommy's margarita.
Oh my God, I'm already in love. I'm already in love.
Tommy's margarita by trade is 1 ounce of lime juice versus 3/4 ounce of agave. So I'm gonna go in.
The fresh lime, the agave, and mezcal. I'm gonna cry. You saw the Flair bartender. You saw the Flair bartender. Look at this bitch. That was so much cooler than anything that's cooler than going bloop behind your back. Where's the respect? Put it on the name. Ain't she made 2? Ain't she made 2?
I'm going to garnish with a beautifully sliced lime wheel. A lot of garnishes are just there as simply a garnish. It's not meant to be expressed.
If that had tahini and an orange peel, I would lose my fucking mind. 8.5. 8.5. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean?
Today I'm gonna make you my favorite version of margarita, which is a take on a take of the classic margarita. So a Cadillac margarita is a margarita that substitutes the triple sec for Grand Marnier. Cadillac is the most popular.
And you also floated on the top of the margarita, if I know correctly. I might not. I might learn something today.
Grand Marnier is going to be an orange liqueur, just like a triple sec made in Cognac, France, and adds kind of like a deeper vanilla spice kind of note to it.
Yep.
The Grand Marnier kind of darkens the color of the margarita a little bit more, so it might look a little bit different than your nice light green.
It sometimes has like that's why I like to put it on the top of the margarita, because there is a diffusion of color almost. You can see the Grand Marnier on top. I like Cadillac margaritas, so we're good so far.
My margarita variation is going to be a Calamansi Cadillac margarita. I take a culinary approach to cocktails. When working with different chefs and different restaurants, I try to use ingredients they already have in-house.
This is good.
So we're using Rose's lime juice now, which is a shelf-stable lime juice. We're using what I call my agave trinity. Reposado tequila is an aged tequila. You have Ricea with...
We got the Reposado. Oh my God. Why did you guys save these for the end?
This next thing we're using, even though I say it's in the agave trinity, it's not agave. Sotol is made from a plant that closer resembles asparagus. It really resembles like dark, super dark green grass, herbaceous.
Here's the thing. I wish I had this to taste it to really give an accurate opinion. Using the knowledge I have, the way these flavors are actually working together is amazing.
So I rim the glass with kind of like my house-made tahini. I use gochugaru, which is a Korean chili flake. I use a little bit of salt, a little bit of citric acid.
Give me that shit now! Stunning. Stunning. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 because it takes the basic but adds more to it. It's more experimental, which I would find a lot of fun. I'm gonna give it a 7.
I'm going to make Yukari Margarita. Let's make it.
Listen, I already know this is gonna be amazing because I've seen Japanese style bartending on TikTok and that shit does not fuck around.
The first, the Lost Explore Mezcal 8 Years Espadín.
Even they know to come in with the mezcal, my guy!
It's like a red berry sun acid. This is ume liqueur, homemade. This is a replacement of the triple sec. Ume is a Japanese plum. The lime can be like, more...
A plum liqueur instead of triple sec to some... Are you kidding me?
So I always taste and then adjust it. Perfect.
I don't like to stir. And the spoon, you're fighting me here, guy. You're fighting me. But hey, here's the thing. Here's why I'm gonna say, here's why I'm not gonna freak out. Because I know the ingredients in a basic margarita don't need something like a spoon and are better when you shake it. I know that. I don't know a lot about these specific ingredients that he's using. It might be better stirred. I don't know, ume.
And today's lemon is a different acid, so you have to manage it all the time. That's why every single time I try to taste before I shake. So
Science! Science! See? When I don't know about something, that's when I shut up. Like I'm gonna yell at this guy about ingredients that he's worked with forever that I've never worked with in my entire life.
Yukari powder has red shiso flavor with a touch of salt. Yukari is a Japanese seasoning, usually making for the rice bowl in Japan.
I feel like Aladdin and Jasmine riding on that goddamn carpet singing a whole new world, bitch, because this looks amazing.
Called Japanese heart shape. That means not gentle, but at the same time, so you can see like control the ice.
Do you see the difference between this kind of professionalism and a mixologist? See how he just did it with his mouth shut and just showed by example, not explaining you the history of ice? See, a mixologist would do this while also telling you how amazing it is that they know what they're doing.
Very precise of the temperature and try to control the aeration. She's on the top.
Amazing. Are you kidding me? This man knows what he's doing, but he's not sucking his own dick while he's making a cocktail. See, that's the difference between this professional and a mixologist. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I am surprised. Only 3 of these were better than a basic margarita, in my opinion. For me. And I swear to God, this was not planned. I swear to God, I did not mean to do this, but the speed bartender made the best margarita in my opinion. She was fast, she used the best ingredients, the product ended up being amazing. Am I wrong? Which margarita would have been your guys' favorite? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know which one would you have liked the least. Do you agree with me or disagree with me on any comments I made? Would you have rated one of these cocktails different from me? Let me know, I'm open for the discussion, I'm open to hear what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, again, be sure to like it and subscribe for future ones. I put them out weekly, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but sometimes I'm late, just like your mom. Thank you all for watching. As always, I'm MikeMGTV, and you are fucking welcome. Goodbye.
I brought the drinks. Everybody screaming my name.